Imagine this. You're offered two options. Option A, a guaranteed modest outcome. However, option B is a risky gamble with a huge upside but a real chance of failure. Most people pause, they hesitate, and they feel the tension. But according to one influential theory in philosophy and economics, this hesitation is unnecessary. In principle, the correct choice is already determined. There is a formula that tells you what to do. It's called expected utility theory, and it claims to solve every hard decision you'll ever face. Expected utility theory starts with a simple idea. When you're choosing under uncertainty, you shouldn't pick the option with the best possible outcome. You should pick the option with the best average outcome, weighted by probability. Not the highest payoff, the highest expected satisfaction. You list possible outcomes, you assign probabilities to each, you assign a value, which is called utility, to how good each outcome would be good for you. Then you multiply, add everything up, and choose the option with the highest total. In other words, rational choice is just probability-weighted preference maximization. Here's the key move. Utility is not money. It's not objective payoff. It's how much an outcome actually matters to you. That's why two people can face the same exact gamble and both be rational while choosing differently. One person hates risk, another thrives on it. Expected utility theory doesn't tell you what to value. It tells you how to be consistent with whatever you do value. What makes this theory so powerful is that it doesn't begin as a guess about psychology. It begins with few seemingly innocent principles. You can compare options. Your preferences don't contradict themselves. Irrelevant similarities shouldn't flip your decisions, and small changes in probability lead to small changes in preference. And here's the shock. If your preferences satisfy these axioms, then mathematically you behave as if you are maximizing expected utility, not optionally, necessarily. Expected utility isn't just a strategy. It's what coherent choice collapses into. This is why expected utility theory almost feels magical. Career choices, medical decisions, investments, even everyday choices like whether to bring an umbrella. In theory, every dilemma can be translated into probabilities and utilities. Messy emotions become numbers. Confusion becomes calculation. There is always a right answer because there is always a maximum. But here's the problem. Real people don't behave this way. They violate the axioms systematically. They fear losses more than they value gains. They react differently depending on how options are framed. They distrust ambiguous probabilities. Famous paradoxes show that human preferences often cannot be represented by any expected utility function at all. And deeper still, some choices don't seem reducible to a single scale of value. How do you assign utility to dignity, to loyalty, to becoming a certain kind of person? So what survives? Expected utility theory may not describe how we actually choose, but it still defines a powerful ideal. It tells us what perfectly coherent means and rationality would look like under uncertainty. And that makes it unavoidable. Any rival theory of rational choice must either be rebuilt or explain exactly why it's rational to break it. The theory that claims to solve every hard choice doesn't eliminate difficulty. It tells us where difficulty begins.